welcome to Lost in the Funhouse with Greg Bow.
And Blondie.
And a scarecrow.
Hello.
Well, welcome to the Funhouse, everybody.
And the mysterious voice coming from the wings.
And the mysterious voice.
Yes, we've got a special guest with us today.
Mr. Mitch Rogers.
Hello.
Yes. Horror fan extraordinaire and graphic novelist.
I am. Both of those things.
At the same time?
Sometimes.
Or do you
Sometimes.
switch? Okay. I was just
Sometimes
wondering.
I'm one or the other. Sometimes I'm neither. Mostly one or the other.
Gotcha.
There you go. And we're getting really close to our favorite time of the year.
Ooh, do
My birthday?
tell.
Yes. Halloween.
Well, do we want to talk about the graphic novel?
Yeah, let's talk about the graphic novel.
We're just going to
Tell us a little bit about your
Yes.
graphic novel and what you do.
Which one?
Boger or...
Okay.
The scary one.
Yeah, the scary one. Pick.
That really narrows it
I
down. Well, I just got done with the sequel to the original Boger graphic novel called Southern Gothic.
Yes.
It's a story set in the 1950s about a sheriff who's investigating a serial killer who is going around killing minority families, and
There you
a
go,
certain
Macy.
traumatic part of his childhood is kind of tied in with it, and of course the Boger shows up and makes things more complicated,
Yes.
as he tends to do.
Misty loves serial killers.
Is that why she's with you?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
In case you wondered. Anybody who's listening, don't tell the cops.
I will.
Misty's laughing hysterically in the corner.
Yeah.
And giggle juice.
Giggle juice, when you feel just a little obtuse. I've heard of that. But don't try to give it to a moose. That's giggle juice.
We hide the bodies on the weekends. We're running out of space.
No, but this
Let's
is
make
our...
some more meatloaf.
Oh,
There you
God.
go. There you go. No, but this is our everybody here in the Funhouse. I mean, this is our favorite time of year. Basically, Halloween is an all-year event for us. Instead of us waiting until the month of October and celebrating on Halloween, or as some people do, the full entire month of October, I think all of us hold Halloween near and dear in our heart. Yeah, 365.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
We celebrate.
Yeah, we're sitting here in Halloween Central right now here in the
Yeah,
studio on
we
the hill.
celebrate all year long. We just ramp it up in October.
Yeah, we just really ramp it up in October, and starting off a little bit. You know, around October, a lot of people notice, because there's always a run on the grocery stores for everybody's favorite childhood haunted cereals,
The monster cereals.
the monster cereal, and funny little story. Blondie here has already stocked up. She said, "What's the total now? You've had 10 boxes,
10 boxes.
for Halloween of
So
Count Chocula."
I haven't eaten all 10 boxes, but
Says her.
I have 10. I have 6 left.
How many stores did you have to raid?
Oh, well, before they actually came out, we went to several stores because I think the Ingalls here in town, one of the Ingalls,
Mistakenly put them out early.
mistakenly got,
Day
they
to day
either
now.
got them early or they mistakenly put them out early because
Were they
my
done in
mom saw
inventory
them.
or something?
My mom saw them,
And Misty made them pay dearly.
Like she does.
but she got me like 2 boxes and
2 boxes.
yeah,
Come
just
on,
2
Mom.
boxes. So I was like, yeah, I want some more when you go back to the grocery store. And of course,
No,
they
no,
didn't
no,
have
no,
any
no, no.
more.
Let's start this right. Your mom asked you how many boxes of Count Chocula you wanted, and
Oh,
she
yeah,
sat
yeah,
there and
yeah.
she tells me,
I did say 2.
I was thinking to myself, I don't want to seem greedy, so I'm just going to tell her 2.
No.
And she went through 2 that afternoon, and then she's like, "Oh," so I'm having to drive her. We went to Greenville, Easley, Greenville, Anderson,
Yeah.
looking for Count Chocula, and there was
Really?
none to be had. And Misty wasn't having it.
Sounds like
I
something
was
I
like,
do.
what in the world? It's already gone, and it's not even October.
I had to
How does this
separate her
happen?
and one manager. I mean, she had the manager jacked up. I mean, I mean, it was like a meth freak or something.
I
don't
know.
what-
Anybody got some more of that
Well,
Count Chocula?
From your earlier comment about Ingalls,
Yeah.
as a former employee of Ingalls Markets,
Yes.
I know some things that you don't want to know, but okay.
Well, now we want to know.
About cereal?
No, about their all of a sudden unavailability.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, we did have one of the grocery stores told us that we asked the manager, did they have any? And she said, "Oh no! If we did, I would have like 20 boxes back in the back just for me."
Yeah.
So yeah, I know where this Count Chocula's going. So.
Yeah, there's a whole underground Count Chocula ring. But amazingly, you can always
Blondie's
find.
running it.
Yes, Blondie's the kingpin. But you can always find, seriously, around this time of the year, you go in and you see this big empty square where Count Chocula was, and then you see all these boxes of Frankenberry just kind of laid all over the floor. You got to climb over them to get to, and maybe like 2 boxes of blueberry left.
Yeah.
But Count Chocula is like the thing everybody apparently just attacks. So
Yeah, so it's only seasonal. They only put it out around Halloween now. But I mean, the other story we had with how I got the rest of the boxes.
yeah, that was funny.
Who'd you rip off?
No, it was me. Hey, this is
Are you chasing the truck down the highway?
pretty much.
Like
No,
Mission Impossible.
it's even stranger. It's a unique story of me being really, really sweet.
Yes.
Unique indeed.
Okay, let me tell you this story. Once upon a time, in a galaxy far, far away.
So there I was.
There I was. No, he had went into Publix, and I think you had talked to someone over in the cereal aisle
The
and
manager.
asked them.
I wasn't playing.
Yeah, and asked them if they had the Count Chocula
I was
cereal
getting my
out.
hashtag boyfriend points.
And they said,
make those
no, but we will be putting it out like the following Tuesday. So he said, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to get you some Count Chocula cereal. So I told my mom later, I was like, they're going to be putting it out at Publix on Tuesday. And I was like, we're going to have to go
She
up
was
there
double
and get
dipping.
some. So he went.
She was running a scam.
So he went to the Publix and he got me 4 boxes of Count Chocula. So in the meantime, my mom is texting me.
Hashtag boyfriend points.
My mom was texting me and she was like, I'm going to go to Publix. How many boxes do you want me to get? And I was like, well,
You thought about taking out a loan?
I was like, give me 4. So I didn't say anything to her about that Gregbo was going to give me some. I didn't tell him.
You say double dipping. See?
I didn't tell him that my mom was going to get some. But what was funny about it was when
Well, let me pick it up from here. So here I go. There I was, walking into Publix and Easley. And I go in, and lo and behold, there sat, whoa, light shining down on the Count Chocula.
The shrine.
Yes, the shrine, And I'm sitting there, so I go over and I said, you know what, I'm going to get her 4 boxes. So I put 4 boxes in, and I go up through the express checkout line, and the lady's looking at me like I'm crazy. And so I looked at her.
Well,
'cause
she's not far
well,
off.
like I am, right.
Yeah.
But I had to clarify
was
that it
looking
wasn't
at
about
you.
the cereal.
Right.
So I looked at her and I
It's good,
said, it's for my girlfriend. She's nuts over this stuff.
She got
Yeah,
some
did she laugh
issues
in your
about
face?
She's
cereal.
got some
You have a girlfriend?
issues. Yeah, she looked at me. She said, "You're going to have to prove that to me, sir." No, but so anyway, here's these 4 boxes. She said, "Oh, there's no worries. A lady came in just about 20, 30 minutes before you did and bought 4 boxes herself." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty cool." So I go out and I take a picture of the.
And
I take
Blondie's over here laughing maniacally in the corner.
Yeah, she's like Mr. Burns. Excellent. So yes. So the breakfast hounds. So I take a picture of it and send it over to her, and she's like, "Oh, aren't you sweet?" Didn't even tell me that her mom was getting them. So that night we're sitting there and she's enjoying her Count Chocula, And I hear, get this, I had 4 boxes and I had it there at the house, and she comes in and then she complained that I didn't have any milk. So here I did all this sweet stuff, and she complained because I didn't have any milk. But so anyway, she was sitting there, so she's eating, talking about the Count Chocula and everything. And
How
she
dry it is.
She goes, all of a sudden, the phone goes off, and she goes, "Oh, I forgot to tell you. Mama texted me earlier today and said she was getting me some Count Chocula too." And I looked at her and I said, "Did she go to Publix and Easley?" And she goes, "Probably." She goes, "Hold on, I'll ask her." So she asked her, and she did go to Publix and Easley. She was the lady that was in there 20 minutes before I was buying the other 4 boxes of the Count Chocula.
So little did the cashier know, all 8 boxes of those were
Missy's-
going to the same person.
Yes.
And Blondie's sitting over there with all of her boxes
Oh,
just
I
chowing
did.
down.
Did you see the picture?
Well-
You saw the picture that we put up on Facebook.
Yeah, when I got home, I had all 8 of my boxes, and I spread them out on the
shared
counter.
it to the Funhouse too.
I didn't see that.
We need to
I saw
check.
it.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
So
my boxes of
you
Count
need to. We need to check. Make sure this is up on the Funhouse because it's her lined up with all her boxes minus 2, right? Because you had already finished
Yeah,
off 2.
2 of them were gone.
She'd
But
already
I still
polished
had
2 of them
8.
off.
I would just
Right
kept
before
the
food was
boxes on the
taken, yeah, she's
counter
just down in
opened
the
up
boxes.
just to show that.
Oh,
you had-
listen, no, because she tears into the boxes. I mean, she's like with her teeth and stuff. like the Tasmanian devil.
Like a starving, crazed weasel.
like Cookie Monster just piling into some
Yum,
Nestle
yum, yum.
Dollhouse.
Oh, she's already got a Cookie Monster taken
Yes.
care of.
She's
Yeah.
already got problems with Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
He stole my cookies.
Cookies, num num.
You know, somewhere right now in America, there is a support group for people suffering from addiction of General Mills Halloween characters. Misty really needs to join that.
Yes, she
Get
does.
serious help.
But what I'm worried about is this. They've also got.
But if we all get
they've also
together-
got a similarly themed self-help group.
It's going to be a new
about
world
these
order.
little old ladies that Misty knocks out of the way on the way to the cereal aisle and knocks over.
Oh, heavens
to
me.
get their
No, that's called a
cereal.
Oh, my hip.
PTSD.
PTSD support group of old ladies who are shivering more than they should be because they're old. Some short blonde woman.
That's the
knocked me
towhead
over
right
for
there.
Cereal.
She was making turkey noises.
That's the towhead. She knocked me out of my way and off
Not a
my
word.
chassis. And
Hey, it was using Ray
it makes me
Bradbury.
so
It's
mad.
a word.
Not a word.
If Ray Bradbury used it and Harlan Ellison also used it, I think it's a word.
thank you, Sonny.
So,
Count Chocolate's rotting your brains, I'm telling you.
for the
Now we know
podcast
what's wrong with Blondie.
and my love of Count Chocula, I did
Love,
some
that is a
Oh, she loves Count Chocula.
obsession.
upset. I would go with obsession.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question, and this is just showing how messed up my mind is.
Ask
Oh, boy.
carefully.
Count Chocula, is he a vampire that lives off chocolate
Yes.
exclusively, or is he a vampire that just also happens to like chocolate?
And if he's living off chocolate, why is he on the front cover of the box and he's always giving it away?
Or is
why
he-
didn't he keep it for himself?
Or is he made of chocolate?
Ooh.
It's like the
He
Count
wants
from
everyone
Sesame
to
Street.
love it.
One,
You
two,
never hear of
three,
people
8
mysterious.
boxes of Count
Yeah.
Chocula.
You never hear of people mysteriously disappearing from Sesame Street, although he's obviously a vampire.
Oh, you go on the back avenues of Reddit. There's all kind of stories about people missing from Sesame Street.
I'm too afraid to go on Reddit, so that's how.
Look up Evil Bert sometime.
No,
I think
don't,
I've seen those.
don't do
Evil
that.
Bert's great.
I've shared
do
a few
that.
of them.
Brett loves Evil Bert. Evil Bert's great.
There was an Evil Bert or Evil Ernie.
No, it was Evil Bert.
Okay.
Oh, it was Evil Bert.
Because
trust me.
I've shared a few of them of it shows Bert and Ernie in a theater and a bunch of the other, Muppets, monsters, whatever you call them, Sesame Street around them. And Ernie's smiling and the rest of them have like a shocked look on their face. And it says, Ernie loves taking his friends to his favorite movie, a Serbian film.
Well, Brett, we love Evil Bert, and we see Evil Bert all the time because it's actually just one letter switched around from Brett, and
Yeah.
they both have the same eyebrows. An angry look on their face. An angry look on their face.
So Brett has a unibrow?
Yeah, close.
Okay.
Sorry, Brett.
We love you, Brett.
Sorry we outed your brow.
Meanwhile, he's heard this and is on the way up here.
Yeah. It's very manly, though.
Yeah, nowadays he has the American government backing him, so.
Well, yeah, that's America's brow.
America's brow.
All right, so some history on the monster cereals.
Ah,
Whoa.
I did some homework. Count Chocula cereal, the monster cereals. They actually, Count Chocula came out in 1971.
I have a question.
So Count Chocula is actually older than me.
Classroom, see what it's doing there. Yeah. All right.
Ooh, Mr. Carter! Mr. Carter!
Miss Blondie, can I go to the bathroom?
We're doing a podcast here.
Gregbo's on my side. Tell him to go back.
This is.
not. He was touching me first.
Yeah.
Do these monsters eat people?
No, they're actually scared of everything. They are.
Not
They
very
suck
good
as
monsters.
monsters.
Yes,
scared
they're
of
scared of
everything?
everything. And you didn't see any of the commercials?
Why do you eat
When I
frightened
was
cereal?
a kid,
It's frightened cereal.
Well, because
they're all serial killers.
the monsters are afraid because they're
say
told
that.
if they don't sell cereal, they will be killed. So they have to do it to save their own lives.
Oh, that's it.
Part of working for General Mills. Get
Maybe
it?
it's all the sugar.
General Mills.
But you know, another thing is all the sugar that's in that thing could be what's hyping them up and got them all on edge, you know.
Well, it's a good thing I know somebody who knows all about that.
I do. I have some information about
Great
that.
segue there.
Thank you.
So, like I was saying, 1971,
1971.
Count Chocula and Frankenberry, which is the strawberry version. It's the Frankenstein's monster, and he's pink. And that was the strawberry version, and of course Count Chocula is the chocolate version. So we had those two come out in 1971, and then in 1973, Boo Berry came out, which is the little ghost, and that's the blueberry flavored cereal.
Rumor has it that the Boo Berry character was a child that died from a sugar overdose from Count Chocula and Frankenberry.
Am I the only person that thinks Boo Berry looks high whenever you see him?
I know he's got his eyes like half closed.
I thought you were going to say Boo Berry looks hot.
That's what I thought you were going to say, too.
Hollywood.
This is getting off track here.
Yes, okay.
Way to go, Mitch.
Hi, I'm Mitch. I make things awkward.
He really does.
Okay, so the
Available
next
for children's
one,
birthday parties.
there are two more little-known cereals that came out because Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and Boo Berry are the most known ones. But then in 1974, they had one called Fruit Brute, which was a werewolf.
So I barely remember
That's a
that
new one.
And it was only out from 1987 to 1992, and then they discontinued it. And this one was actually a fruit-flavored cereal with lime-flavored marshmallows. And I'm sorry, I told you that date wrong. It was 1974 to 1987 was Fruit Brute.
Be exact with your dates.
I'm sorry, I was reading the wrong line. Because it was discontinued in 1987, and then in 1987 they came out with the new one called Fruity Yummy Mummy. And this one was a fruit-flavored cereal with vanilla marshmallows.
Vanilla marshmallows.
So they just changed the flavor of the marshmallows and gave it a new name and a new monster.
Lime
So
marshmallows.
the
Who never
mummy
thought that
and the
was a
fruit brute.
Yeah,
Good
I was like,
idea.
lime. I don't even know what a lime marshmallow would taste like.
Right?
Lime, maybe?
Lime?
Yeah. So the werewolf and the mummy were never out on the shelves at the same time, right?
No.
Okay.
Except
Are they
for
the same person?
Because the werewolf would have eaten the mummy.
Ooh, maybe the mummy turns
Saying.
into a werewolf under a full moon.
But there was one
Probably.
year, I think in 2013, I may have that wrong, but there was one year, there was one year where they
Don't
did
make that on. I don't want to redo this.
there
I
was
feel
one,
like driving up here again if we have to record.
but there was one year that they did for a special. They put out all 5 of them.
Oh, wow.
And at one time for one season. So they did have the Yummy Mummy and the Fruit Brute, but they changed it because Fruit Brute was a cherry flavored cereal with vanilla marshmallows, and Yummy Mummy was a orange cream flavored cereal with vanilla marshmallows.
Actually sounds pretty good.
Orange and vanilla does go together, so it makes
So,
sense.
but they only put them back out for that 1 year. But otherwise, because Yummy Mummy was only out from 1987 to 1992.
Tell us in the comments, what's your favorite monster cereal?
Yeah,
Yes.
we've got to have a vote on that.
Yeah, we're going to make a poll, I think.
Yeah, let's do it.
Blondie's checking her notes for those who are wondering what the awkward silence was. We made her lose her place, as we often do.
Well, I drew little arrows, and I was trying to remember.
And she can't recognize that they're actually arrows.
I was going to be like,
She
what
has
is...
so many notes. About cereal.
But I did find some other interesting... trying to pick back up. I did find my place now.
Oh, good.
So, also in 1987, they put out some special boxes because the Count Chocula was, what do you call it? The idea for him came from Bela Lugosi's Dracula. and
Okay.
that's kind of how they modeled his character. And
Looks nothing like Bela Lugosi.
yeah.
But continue.
and then Boris Karloff for the Frankenstein.
Frankenberry?
Yeah, for
I thought it
Frankenberry.
was based off Elton John. Have you seen the glasses and stuff anywhere?
Yeah.
I kind of thought the appearance of Frankenberry was a lot like Peter Lorre, but that's just probably my.
Oh no! I see that. I
Because
can
he's a
see
little
it.
chubby. He's got weird looking eyes that go in different places.
But didn't Boo Berry, whenever he'd talk on TV, have Peter Lorre's voice?
Probably, yeah.
I think he did in the commercials.
But they did,
I
and
really like the cereal.
but they put out a special edition box, and they actually had the characters on there. They were standing behind the, Count Chocula and the Frankenberry, so they had.
The corresponding characters.
Yeah, they had the character on there on the special edition boxes, and there was also a little bit of controversy that year when they put that out because
Controversy, you should.
controversy
Controversy.
because the picture that they used of Bela Lugosi he wore a medallion,
Yeah.
and they took a picture, and when they put it on the box, it flattened the picture, and it made the medallion not look like it didn't look like a medallion with a stone in it.
Yeah.
When they flattened it, it came out looking like the Star of David.
Oh.
So that was a little problem having the Star of David on
California
a vampire.
completely shut down that week.
So anyway, the medallion. So they went in and they reprinted the boxes, and they took the medallion off. So I guess that made people happy. The cereals used to be out all year round. You could find them all year round. But then in 2010, they started putting them out just around Halloween. I don't know why. Couldn't find.
I think there were parent groups that. I mean, this is what I just
Probably
heard.
with their kids like bouncing off the walls. I was like, you
No,
cannot have this year round.
seriously, there was a time when all of a sudden all these cereals that we grew up on, the parents started just going AWOL about it. And all of a sudden you started to see, I mean, if you walked down a cereal aisle, everything was replaced by plain Cheerios and muesli. No, they took mueslix off too. There's,
Good Lord.
yeah, I mean, they took all
What
kinds
is
of stuff.
Mucilix?
Oh gosh, man, I used to eat that stuff just right out of the box. It was like had like raisins and nuts and like some frosted cornflakes and stuff in
Raisins?
it.
Really?
Was it during that whole every child alive is obese crap that went on? Was that part of
Yeah,
it?
probably. Yeah.
When the real reason is they changed the definition of obesity, and then everyone in America is obese.
Exactly. There you have it.
Political ran over.
Boom, boom,
All right. Well, to finish my bit of trivia, as I think was brought up some other time, in 2014, the characters were redesigned with the help of some DC comic artists. Boo Berry was done by Jim Lee.
Of Wildcats fame.
Count Chocula was redone by Terry Dodson, and Frankenberry was redesigned by Dave Johnson. So see there, if you'd have waited
I got told.
for me to get to my
And who did the rest
trivia.
of them?
Who did the rest of them?
You only mentioned 3.
That's the only 3 that they redid.
Not that year. They also had Bride of Pumpkinberry.
Pumpkinberry.
Yeah. I don't know.
So-
I'm trying to throw her off.
So the pumpkin spice insanity infected cereal.
Hopefully not.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you said pumpkin. I just assumed.
So I was looking up some other things, about the Count Chocula cereal, and I did find a story about that there was a man in Fort Collins, Colorado, who made an unauthorized Chocula craft beer, and he went around and he nearly wiped out the whole town's supply of Count Chocula.
Really?
I like this guy.
And then I also looked up.
Him and Blondie would have been facing off in that in like that town, like two old gunslingers out in the middle of the street.
Yeah,
over the supply of Count Chocula.
there would have been a fight.
Either that or like he's grabbing a box. She's like being drug on the floor.
She's turning into the fruit brute.
But when I looked up about the boxes and the medallion thing, so I got to thinking, I was like, I wonder if these are like collector's items, the boxes or something.
Oh,
so
good point.
They are big time.
I looked up on
Are they really?
eBay.
Oh, yeah, they are.
I looked up on eBay and I just wanted to see like what was the most expensive item on eBay. And actually I found if you have an original Fruit Brute box, there's one of those on eBay for $7,500.
Holy.
For a
How much?
box of cereal.
7,500?
Just the box. The cereal's gone.
Oh, so it's less than what you would get.
Just the box.
Wow.
So if you have an original,
Crazy.
I just
$7,500.
print off something off of the computer and fold it into a box shape. I have.
You would, Mitch. You would.
He would.
And I'm $75,000 less poor.
Oh, and there was another little bit of trivia that I did find that when Frankenberry first came out, the first year that it was out, or probably not even that whole year, there was a dye that was in the cereal that was turning the kids' poop like a reddish pink color.
That is hilarious.
Didn't that just happen with the Monster Whopper burger or
Yeah.
something out of
Yeah, he
Burger
turned it
King?
green or something,
Oh,
and
my
like
God.
all the parents were freaking out.
Oh, yeah, as
Yeah,
they do.
well, apparently green poop's a health problem, so I doubt it has anything to do with what they put in the food. It's probably, faulty intestines or something.
Faulty intestines.
Faulty and
That's the best I can come up with off the top of my head. Okay.
But
Medical
Functioning intestines.
Medical Corner with Dr. Mitch.
yeah,
Kids at home, don't be a Mitch.
but they did go and they said
I
that
didn't go to school to be a Mitch, sir. They'll just let you put doctor in front of your name for no reason.
so they the kids had the pinkish red
A pinkish
poop.
hue to their
Okay.
So the
it
kid-
looked
the
like
parent-
unicorn is what he's trying to say.
turkey over that word, Neil. Turkey over that word.
Language. No.
Language.
But
No
so
one told me I couldn't cuss.
This is a family show. We're talking about kids cereal.
You never met my family.
That's true.
to finish up the monster cereals, I know we want to do our own poll, which would be interesting to find out, between the three, or if you've had the other two. I don't know how they could be a favorite since you can only,
Wow.
Blondie's biased.
Wow, way to shove,
on
shove
this-
everyone else under the bus.
Yes, and
Oh, no.
on this poll, she's going to go in there and vote like 1,000
Yeah.
times from Count Chocula.
No. Let's see. Frankenberry. Frankenberry's the best.
Don't
Buy
answer so
all
fast.
the Frankenberry.
She hates Frankenberry. Don't let her lie to y'all.
But I did find that they did a poll, and that was the reason that I was bringing up the Frankenberry poop thing about the pink poop, because there was a poll in 2018 that they did.
reasons.
Yeah, there was a reason. Because I almost forgot about it. There was a poll that they did last year to find out which one was everyone's favorite, and of course, Count Chocula got 45.9% of the vote. Boo Berry got 20.95%. Frankenberry got 19.43%. And amazingly, none, they make my poop weird colors, got 5.9%.
Mitch.
Fruit Brute got 4.95%, and Yummy Mummy got 2.86%. And then
I suspect
also,
Blondie probably was a good percentage of those votes for Count Chocula.
no,
Don't answer so fast.
I didn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah,
But
sure,
also, I
likely
looked
story.
on Nerdist.com. They ranked the top 50 cereals. Count Chocula was number 5.
What was number 1 through 4?
I looked this up, but first, Boo Berry was number
In
48.
other words, Greg, both shut up. Go ahead.
Frankenberry was number 47. And so, if you want to know what the top 4 were, first was Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Right.
2 was
Cinnamon
Cocoa
Toast
Pebbles.
Crunch.
I thought this was about the.
Did you say Fruity Pebbles?
Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa Pebbles. All right.
3 was Frosted Flakes. And 4 was Lucky Charms.
Ah.
And 5 was Count Chocula, that is only out seasonal. So, there you go.
I'm still thinking about all the kids back then
And I am-
who looked in the toilet.
Done with my
and saw
story.
Class
paint
dismissed.
tube and was telling everyone about it. Look what I have.
See you next semester.
Yes.
So anyway, I was on the way back from the con, and I started talking about the old Ben Cooper costumes, and if you were a child in a certain era, say the 70s, and you will remember these costumes as...
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. And so, bottom line, there were these little jumpers that we'd go out to get. And you'd go to the local... Back then, nowadays everybody gets like a Walmart or gets something online or whatever. Back then, in the small towns, you just had the little, what they call dime stores. And you go into the dime stores about a couple weeks before Halloween, and they had these costumes out, and they all were stacked and came in boxes with a little opening on top, and you could see the mask. And you'd pull the mask out, like let's say you went and were going to be the Incredible Hulk. They'd have this little plastic half Incredible Hulk mask with the eyes cut out, nostrils, breathing holes, and a little slit for the mouth. And it would just slide over your head with a little thin rubber band. That was the flimsiest thing you've ever saw. But the worst part of it is when you got home and you pulled the costume out of the bag, and it was Incredible Hulk, and it might have like yellow pants, and then on your chest, all it had was a silk screened picture of the Incredible Hulk. So these were real weird looking costumes. It's not like the costumes today where the kids actually look like they were on a movie set or something. And nobody in this, by the way, everybody out there listening, nobody in the studio is even looking at me, paying attention. They're looking, well, Mitch, but again, nobody's paying attention. No, but
you know what they're not
looking-
doing?
What?
Interrupting you.
Oh, now see, I never interrupt you. I just kind of add and give some ambiance
I thought she was talking about me.
and
for a second.
commentary to your stuff.
For better explanation, these costumes looked like cheap
They're
preschool
plastic.
pajamas with crappy masks on.
Yes, they are. They are quite horrible. However, we all have a certain fondness for them because we grew up with these things, right?
I didn't.
Well, I did.
I grew up with actual costumes by
Look, they're all in here making fun of my Halloween joy.
No, we're
from when I
making
was a
fun of
kid.
how old you are.
Well, I am old. I will say that. All right.
What's that?
Yeah, I couldn't hear y'all.
You gotta
What?
speak into my good eye, child.
Speak a
What?
little louder there, Sonny. I couldn't hear y'all.
Back in my day, these things used to cost $0.25.
and we were happy to have them. So, anyway, Ben Cooper was a guy, and he was born in New York in 1906, and later he worked as are you ready for this, Blondie?
I'm ready.
An accountant.
Yay!
Yeah. Okay. Blondie's an accountant. All right. So Ben Cooper designed
Is that
costumes.
Dennis the Menace?
Think so.
It is Dennis the Menace.
And he's
The eyes are lopsided.
That's really weird.
and he's been eating. Oh,
It's crooked.
Okay.
blood stain around
Let's
his
not talk
mouth.
about stuff nobody can see except us. All right.
You just explained
What
what we're looking at.
Okay.
What was
So
that?
Ben Cooper designed costumes for the famous Cotton Club in Harlem and the Ziegfeld Follies. In the 1930s, live theater had become rarer due to the effects of the Great Depression, but Halloween was gaining an overwhelming popularity across the country as a holiday. So in 1937, Cooper began creating costumes for Halloween, including Walt Disney characters such as Snow White and Donald Duck. By the 1940s, Ben Cooper was the largest costume manufacturer in the United States. The costumes consisted of a jumpsuit made of very thin fabric with a character silk screened on the front. It came with a mask molded out of thin plastic with a fragile, flimsy rubber band stapled into it to hold it on
added
the
that
child's head. No, honestly, we would buy these things in the store, right? And we'd be like, oh man, oh yeah, I'm finally going to be the Batman for Halloween or something. And you would take the mask out of the box and cart and just leave the costume because the costume was absolute crap. But you would put the mask on,
The
you
mask
know.
wasn't?
Oh, well, the mask was, because by the time you got home, the rubber band you didn't even get out of the car with it to your house, and the band was broken. I mean, unfixable.
Nothing like staples to hold stuff on your child's face.
So on Halloween night, by the time Halloween rolled around, you've got crowds of kids going up and ding dong, and when everybody come to the door, everybody would hold their mask up in front of their face, and be like trick or treat, and then we'd
Like a
drop the
masquerade
mask,
mask.
to get the candy.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but so. The costumes, let's see, the costumes sold for about $3 during the early days. The most popular costumes during this early period were devils, ghosts, skeletons, and witches.
Oh my.
Oh
The
my.
best things about Halloween.
Absolutely, right? So in the
Especially
19...
the devils.
We're getting letters. So in the 1950s, TV and comic book characters such as Davy Crockett, Superman, and Zorro became regular costumes with the company. As parents in the 1950s became overly concerned with safety, Cooper began to create costumes featuring glitter glow, a reflective blue glitter that would reflect the headlights from a car.
And then every kid who wore that suit that year had, for some reason, pink poo.
Pink? No. Yeah, hey, for some reason it was blue glitter, but pink poo. Scientists were baffled.
The radiation from that glitter is probably less safe than being hit by a car.
How safe is being hit by a car, Mitch?
Less safe than Chernobyl. That's where the blue glitter came from. Let's see. In the late 1950s and early 1960s, the Kennedy family had become so popular that Cooper produced masks based on JFK and Jackie. With the popularity, they overproduced the masks. Sadly, within a month of launching the new masks, President Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas in November 1963. In light of national mourning, Cooper Company had all of the masks destroyed and took a major financial hit. So imagine you've got all these masks banking on the popularity of Camelot, the Kennedys,
Right.
and all this stuff, and you've got them ready to go. And then all of a sudden, here's the assassination. It's like, wah, wah, all the stuff. They're like, we don't want people. Let's throw these out back. So during the 1970s, franchises including Spider-Man, Batman, Star Wars, and many more were added to the company's costume offerings. As the 1980s rolled in, Cooper did its first R-rated character.
What?
Freddy?
Anybody want to guess who the first R-rated costume was from Ben Cooper here?
Freddy?
Either Freddy
Nope.
or Jason.
Nope. Alien from the Aliens franchise.
Yes!
What?
That was the first R-rated character that Ben Cooper Company did. In the mid-1980s, the company suffered a few years of huge financial losses. There were, and some of y'all may remember this actually, I remember this, there were national news reports where 7 people died from taking Tylenol. Investigations proved that the bottles had been tampered with. This set off a national scare of product tampering in the United States, which extended to Halloween candy. Terrified parents across the country wouldn't let their kids even celebrate Halloween, so sales of costumes plummeted and did not recover for several years. The Ben Cooper Company filed for bankruptcy and wouldn't pull themselves out for many years after that. Upon barely recovering from bankruptcy, the company announced its relocation to, guess where, guys? Kind of homegrown here, close by,
Atlanta.
to Greensboro, North Carolina, in order to be closer to the southern textile companies who produce their costumes. On, ironically, October 30th, the day before Halloween in 1991, Ben Cooper filed for its final bankruptcy. They could no longer survive as an independent company. And here's where it gets really weird, because I'd always wondered this before I looked into it. It's just like all of a sudden one day Ben Cooper stuff just disappeared off the face of the earth, and then all these great costumes and great masks, and you know what I'm talking about. You go to a Halloween store now, it's like, oh man, the costumes are incredible. In 1992, Ben Cooper was bought out by Ruby's Costume Company, which is still a major manufacturer of costumes, props, and collectibles to this day. So Ben Cooper, because I'd always wondered that, because I have a love-hate relationship with these old costumes because they were so terrible, but it was like the struggle of a generation on Halloween to deal with these things around Halloween, you know. Walking down the road with a mask in one hand, pumpkin full of candy in the other, you know. And, you know, they were just so atrocious looking because they really didn't look anything like the character they were supposed to look like.
Right.
And so then all of a sudden, you know, I've talked to Blondie. Every time I go into a Halloween store now, I'm like, I just cannot believe the way the costumes look. I mean, when you were a kid, it was hard to find a really decent like superhero costume,
Right.
or anything like that. You know, you just had these things, and you know, nowadays they've got like whole aisles of like movie quality superhero
Right.
gear and superhero
Yeah.
costumes. So that was the very strange story of the Ben Cooper Costume Company.
Awesome.
Ta-da! Gregbo did homework.
Yay.
Where's my gold star?
Well, you mentioned the product tampering thing, which, I mean, any kid that's ever celebrated Halloween
remember
has
that.
heard that. You know, razor blades and apples, poison
Oh, yeah.
candy.
Yep.
Here's a scary
And that's
thought.
just at Mitch's house, but go ahead.
Yeah. Here's a scary thought that all the cases where that was actually true, where someone was putting, you know, stuff in candy, was the parents of the kids that died.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And it was
That-
always
yes.
after the concept,
Yeah.
or people started thinking of that as a concept. These some parents were using that, you know, the urban legend, so to speak, as an excuse to kill their own kids, and
That's horrendous.
they were hoping that it would be a smoke screen. But you know, when your kid's the only one that chokes on a razor blade after biting into an apple, it's pretty obvious that, you know, it's from...
Thanks, Mitch. Now we're all depressed. but
Yeah. Wow.
It's a
Continue.
it's
It's
no,
a-
but
it's a
but it
Halloween
is.
thing.
But you're right. No, I saw a documentary about that, and you know, it was really wild. And I remember in the '80s, the early '80s, late '70s, early '80s, my parents were always just like the local hospital.
Yeah.
Would you know, use their X-ray machines and offer the service to like X-ray the candy and stuff. I mean, it got that bad. I mean, it was crazy. And there was a lull when, I mean, come on. I mean, y'all had to experience at least a little bit of that. I'm not that old. Where there was a lull where Halloween was like, man, Halloween's this big thing. And then all of a sudden, poof, for a couple of, you know, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, it just was like.
You could only go to the houses where you knew the people.
Yeah.
You
Right.
could only go to the houses where you knew the people. I mean, you know, and then that was the birth of all the like church trunk or treats
Yeah.
and things like that. Yeah.
Kind of like how it still is.
Well, pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
Well, I was...
Unless you
yeah, I
go
was
to
in elementary
Misty's at
school when it
Halloween and
happened.
it's like Halloween Central.
Right.
Yay.
Yeah, when I was... all that stuff was happening when I was in elementary school. It was, you know, houses that wanted trick-or-treaters would have the porch light on.
Right.
You know, and you only have to go to, you know,
Yeah. It's
their
It's
houses.
an unspoken thing. You know, if
Yeah.
the light's on, you can
You
not.
know who my favorite people were on Halloween night? Were the poor idiots that were like, hey, I'll solve this. I want to be nice to the kids, but I don't want to get up all night. So they would put out, and we had 2 or 3 of them in our neighborhood. Idiots. They would put out these big bowls of candy
Idiots.
with a thing that
remember
says,
those.
please take one.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
One
we would
bowl,
just keep
please.
going up
Thank
there and
you.
wait in the bushes,
You know, a
and we
giant
would
handful.
dump the whole thing into our bag, go hide in the bushes, right? And we'd ring
they
the doorbell,
refill it.
hide in the bushes. They'd come out there, tell me some kids that done got all their candy. Get another bag, I'll fill it up. Fills it up, goes back inside. We do the same thing over.
That was a good
We had a
voice.
little racket going
Should have
on.
had you do the hillbilly.
I could have done it.
Yeah, you could have.
I could have done it.
When my brother was a baby, there was someone in our neighborhood. My brother's 12 years younger than I am, so I was basically a teenager at this time. But there was one household that actually found a great end of that.
Yeah.
They put the bowl of candy out, you know, with the sign that said, you know, please take one. And any kid that would take more than one, the owner of the place was actually like on the porch under like a sheet where you didn't know there was a person there, and would blah and scare the kids would run away. So
He wouldn't have done it with the crowd I was trick or treating with.
true. Yeah.
I ran with ne'er do wells. Misspent youth, but go ahead, continue.
That's That sounds like something my dad would do, though, because he always did it. He loved Halloween. And we had like a carport on our house and then a porch out front. And you had to walk up under the carport and come to that door to get the candy. And it was dark on the porch, so when the kids, after they got their candy, would start walking back out, like toward the road, my dad was hiding right there at the corner of the house, and he would jump out, and he would
So
always
they think
wear
they're
like
home
a...
free, like we got the candy.
Yeah,
you
we're
know,
good
on
now.
our way
And
out.
they're like looking at what they got, and they're all giggly and everything, and then all of a sudden he jumps out, and he's got on like a, Halloween mask, or a Jason mask or something, and scares the kids.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I love hearing stories about him. That's cool.
Speaking of stories, I got one.
Yeah.
Carolina Lore's out.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Stop it. Stop. No, keep it coming. Come on, seriously. Don't stop. It'll cost you.
Oh, God.
My wallet's over here.
Yeah, so 16 tracks
Yes.
of songs and stories, one by you.
Me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I did
you
a
were-
story.
Yeah.
I did a thing.
A true story at
That's
that.
Neil likes to say. A very true
We're not just
story.
making this up this time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so we deal with we talk about the Gray Man
Yes.
on Polly's Island, the Hound and
One of my
Potion,
favorites. Yeah.
the Devil's Tramping Ground,
Yeah.
which was the first single, and Little Green Men, which
Oh, I love that one too.
I always
Yes.
dedicate to Blondie.
Of course.
She's scared of aliens. Everybody come up to the Comic-Cons dressed as an alien and chase her around.
No.
What's that from the Little Green Men? Is that just aliens in general? Or
It's
was
Brown
there
Mountain Lights.
actual... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He bases everything off of Southern Legend
Yeah.
down here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought. I was just wondering what the Little Green Men were.
Aliens.
What story it was. Well, I knew that, but I was kind of wondering if it was
From Mars.
No, it's actually North Carolina.
Well, and if you do decide to dress up like an alien for the Comic-Cons to come scare Blondie, let me give you a hint. Don't dress up as like and this is what freaks me out, because you're not scared by the aliens from the movies.
No.
Like the alien movies, the real vicious,
Xenomorphs.
the xenomorphs. Yes,
No.
thank you.
What about Mars Attacks?
Those are just funny looking.
She's scared more like the ones from like the X-Files.
Yeah.
Greys.
The Greys, yeah.
The gray
those are
ones
what
with
she's
the
scared.
big eyes.
They
I don't
freak
like
her
those.
out. I mean,
When
she
people
freaks
talk
out.
about aliens, what usually comes to mind? The
Yeah.
3 foot tall, grays that talk to you without moving their lips. And
Has anyone out there ever had a close encounter? I'd like to hear about it.
No, I've never had a close encounter.
Right? I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about our listeners.
Well, listeners, we want to hear it, but I
Not
will
everything's
tell you this.
about you, Greg Bowe.
and by
Since
close
when?
and by close
I didn't get that
encounter,
memo.
we do not mean a drunk Greg Bowe. We mean actual extraterrestrials.
It sucks when you don't get a memo, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know, right?
So seriously though, if you've ever had a sighting or a close encounter or even maybe an abduction you would like to share with us,
Oh, that would be awesome.
I'd be interested to hear it.
And
Yeah.
not any abductions by Mitch,
Yeah,
because
no.
we've heard about those already.
Well, no one comes back from those, so you won't hear a story about that.
So it's really excited about this. It's available on antlerhillarts.com digitally and on Bandcamp. So check us out. Check the record out. Rate us. We are on our way to Spotify and iTunes and Amazon MP3. So if you see us, be sure to give us a rating. Tell us what you think. I would really appreciate that.
And guys, we're doing a lot of joking around in here, but Blondie and I have been treated to getting to listen, and I'm just going to tell you, it's fantastic.
I'm so proud of this record. I've
you
worked
should-
so hard on this
awesome.
record.
You should be.
So sick of this record.
No, but you deserve every success with this record, because it really is wonderful. Wonderful.
Trying to put the Carolinas on the map.
There you go. Oh, yeah, we do need to work our sponsor.
Yeah, we got to pay for this somehow.
Yeah, we got to
All right.
get that in. So
Well, here's a word from our sponsors.
Beef Filet, the home of the beef nugget served in our own Yippee-yi-yay sauce, only open on Sunday because we believe that our employees need to spend more time at home and less at work. If you're interested in a career, we have jobs now starting at $43 an hour. That's right. Eat a cow and save a chicken. Beef Filet.
Okay, and that was our sponsor. Okay.
That's who got to sponsor you?
Yeah, apparently. Our sales guy, Chuck Sloan, is on the case.
To say I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
I'm adding music to that. I'm adding music to that.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah.
That needs to be on the end.